Welcome to every single one of you who has tuned in for Found Her Spotlight in association with Simplified, which is a fantastic AI powered marketing tool. In this series, our intention is to shine the light on promising women entrepreneurs who are driving path breaking innovation in different sectors and creating meaningful impact. Today, I have with me a dear friend, a mentor, and someone that I genuinely look up to in the space of entrepreneurship, Sagarika Sahoo, who is an international business strategist with over 25 years of experience. She's renowned for her leadership in the Middle East startup scene and her pivotal role in initiatives like the Middle East Startup Awards and Women's Expo, which is an SDG initiative. Sagarika is an award winning expert in event management and MICE services, and we are super delighted to have her with us. Welcome, Sagarika.
Thank you so much, Avneet. And it was a little bit elaborated introduction, but nevertheless, I'm truly humbled by it. Thank you so much.
So I think I call Sagarika Sagi, so I'm just gonna keep it that way to make this conversation as easy breezy and fluid as possible. Sagi, tell us about your entrepreneurship journey as a woman in business. How did you start? And these 15 years, 20 years of doing what you're doing, walk us through it.
Sure, I'd love to. I came to Dubai with the Dubai government, and I was very blessed that I was allowed to go for entrepreneurship development programs. But in my career, when I was working, I always was multitasking, and luckily because I come from a varied background, I have a post graduation in advertising and PR as well as foreign trade. It helped me actually work on different facets of the business of the companies that I was working with. And so the entrepreneurship journey for me started off very easy because luckily I was exposed to a lot of different arenas of a business. So that's how I started my career as an entrepreneur.
Tell us about your how you ventured into the startup space, right? And what do you see over the last 10 years? I mean, I'm told that UAE is now the buzzing ecosystem. It's where India was 10 years ago. What are your thoughts on all of this?
I feel the startup space is all about where you want to grow and what are you offering to the world. So the startup ecosystem in the Middle East is definitely catching up a lot of space. But the best part about the Middle East is that we are a melting point from different parts of the world. So the offerings of a startup in this part of the world is far more greater because we can actually go global faster because we do have the African market continent, we have the Indian subcontinent as well as the Americas and the Europe very well connected within us. So I feel the ecosystem in the Middle East is definitely on a high rise. And owing to the complete infrastructure, you're aware that UAE is being going to be called the startup country. And we see so many people coming over here to actually start off their businesses because the government also supports with the ease of doing business in this part of the world. So definitely there is a lot of support out here.
Absolutely. I've been hearing such a lot of buzz and doing a lot of work in the space as well. We keep hearing, so many new things every day. However, I'm curious to know, how have you seen this ecosystem evolve from the time you were starting out as a woman in business? Tell us about some of these challenges that you faced, which you think that today, has massively evolved. And how do you view this?
Definitely earlier that when I started off my company, that's 9 years old, when I started Commerce Connect, the first challenge that we faced was, getting comfortable with collaborations, because earlier it was a very, I think, a very niche segments that people were working in, and even the groups used to be very close knit. But now over time, and I think even if it's a global challenge that people actually don't go out to ask for support, and everybody is doing work in stylo. But today I see that a lot of people are going in for collaborations, and your growth is through your network. So definitely today we can see a lot of more people coming out of their comfort zone and talking about their businesses more freely. Also owing to the internet. I think we all are connected faster and quicker with what all we do. And even between both of us, if you actually see Incubate and Commerce Connect, we've actually collaborated. So the faster we actually collaborate and grow our businesses, that's something I feel that we can overcome the challenges. Yeah.
Sagi, how about social media? Right, I'm sure that would have also evolved, from the time 10 years ago you started to where we're at now. Talk to us about how you've, used content creation or content marketing in order to position yourself as a leader in your space.
Sure, definitely. What I feel is social media is a great stepping stone towards making yourself available out there. You as an entrepreneur, and your startup as well. Always remember that your network is definitely your net worth. So every day, whom are you interacting with? What are you actually learning? Coming to the learning part of it, also is very important. How can you unlearn something? How can you relearn something? I think these three words are very, very key for any startup. That you have to, once you learn something, you might have to unlearn it. So how quick are you at adapting, at unlearning something, and how quick you want to relearn something else? I think these three words, as an entrepreneur, I always take it forward. Okay, this is not working, what else can work for me? If that is not working, what else works for me? And social media, as you rightly said, it depends on what kind of a business you have. So my business is more B2B, and so we use more of LinkedIn and those kind of platforms. But yes, if you have a B2C business, it is Facebook. But when you're catching the next generation people, you have so many new apps that have come up. So you go on Insta, you go on the other new apps that have come out, and you connect with your audience. And that's the most important thing, I feel, as an entrepreneur, that you use up your social media to definitely connect your businesses.
I absolutely love what you said about learn, unlearn, relearn, right? And I think that kind of syncs with the ethos that we are trying to advocate for at Incubate. When we started out about 3.5 years ago, both Diksha and myself, it was the heart of the pandemic. And what we realized was, okay, there's a lot of realized potential in women entrepreneurs. Women, I mean, if we look at out of the 63 odd, unicorns that India has, nearly 18 of them are either women founded or women led. But
Yes.
where are these women? Why are they not talking about what they do with confidence? Why are they not as easily visible or top of the mind recall, right, for people to because those are the kind of role models that we need.
Yeah.
And for us, we saw a gap with three things, which is women who were either aspiring, who had just started out, lacking three things. One was knowledge, second was networks, and the third was capital. And that's
Yeah.
how Incubate, even as a part of the last 3.5 years of swimming through this sea of wanting to create value and help women not walk but leap forward, we've essentially we're solving for these aspects, right? How can we turbocharge their growth? And no doubt, visibility is a huge part of it, which is where content creation and now AI powered content creation, I think, just takes it up to a different notch. So talk to us about how are you leveraging AI? Is it just a hype according to you, or have you started utilizing it in your business? How do you adopt, or how have you been adopting AI, and how?
Yeah, definitely. I feel technology today is people friendly, and it depends on you on how much you want to let it come into your business and into your life. Definitely, AI in content creation is gone to a different whole level. Definitely, people are using different tools, but at the same time, when you are using those tools, I would always tell people, be authentic, be yourself.
100%.
Whereas you can use the AI to enhance what you're trying to do. And definitely now when we're talking about AI, you can use the tools. Like earlier, it used to be mass, but now today people are going into pragmatic marketing, and you're getting your target based audience marketing, which makes your business cycle more easier and more go to market. So I would say definitely know the AI, but own the space where your integrity and your true business and true essence of your business comes out. That's my advice to everyone who's on this call out here.
Sagi, how have I mean, when you talk about women entrepreneurs in the Middle East, right? Now you sit at the helm of a lot of different initiatives, whether it's your events company, whether it's Wexpo, whether it's now the Middle East Startup Awards, which I'm waiting to delve into, and I want you to tell us everything about it in a bit from now. Talk to us about what is the women entrepreneur landscape in the region from your eyes, right? And having run these properties for a while, uh, what is the current status?
I definitely feel that the women entrepreneurs in the Middle East are definitely more aware of what their market is has to offer and what they can actually offer. A lot of the women entrepreneurs that I come across are on the rise, and especially because I deal with more of developing markets, women entrepreneurs. Personally, I feel that they have started to realize what I mentioned earlier also, that collaborations are very important, and you do what you do best and let the others lead what they doing are doing good. So when I talk to a lot of women entrepreneurs, yes, what you mentioned about it is right, that they do have a funding issue. Some of them want to scale up but they don't know how to, because they don't have the right mentors, don't have the right guides. But at the same time, when we are living in a place like Dubai, we have so many people around us or so many events around us, where I tell women to get out of your comfort zone first and foremost. Go showcase yourself. Have a cohort of women or even men, what I call pillars of strength, to talk about your problems. Because the more you discuss, the more you showcase yourself, the more you'll understand where you are lacking. And if you're lacking somewhere, look at collaborations. And that's the key for any business to grow. And I would always tell it's okay. It's okay to take a step back. There are certain initiatives I've launched. I have stopped, taken a step back, and again relaunched them. The reason being is because you have to be aware of your strengths, but at the same time, be aware of your weaknesses. And that's more important. I still remember I sat down one day. As an entrepreneur, all of us do want to do everything to save the money, to do whatever. I just sat one day and I told myself, these are the list of things I'm not going to do. So I made a whole list of work that I'm not going to do it, purely for the reason because I feel that time is also a very important part in an entrepreneur's journey. So as women, we want to do it all, take it all, but you value your time. If a work can be done at a lesser cost, at a lesser time by somebody else who can do the job better and faster, just leave it to the person to do it. So I always advise people that know your strengths as well as know your weaknesses, because once you're aware of your weaknesses and you can work towards your weaknesses, that will actually put you on a faster rocket to reach where you want to reach, because you know how to overcome those weaknesses. That's my pure advice to everyone who wants to be on this journey. Yeah.
Sagi, if you had to credit, any, let's say, one or three things that you did in your journey, right? Or these were some errors that you made, which you think that women should probably, like telling them about it now, would help them probably reconsider their path or shift, whatever they're doing in a different way. What would you say?
My first and foremost, I would say, is create your communities faster. The faster you create your own tribe, your own community, your own cohort, the faster you'll be able to grow. That's the advice I would give every entrepreneur who's here, of understanding that your journey is not alone and you need to have all your pillars around you. So that's the first advice I would give. Second, I would say is definitely collaborate. A lot of us as entrepreneurs want to do it all, know it all, feel it all. But I would say if you're earning 100 rupees and if you have to give someone 10 rupees in a form of a collaboration, do that. Because if you are an independent business earning that 100 rupees with a partner, you might be even earning 500 and 1,000. So take that leap of faith, do your collaborations, and move ahead. And but last and not most important thing I feel is, even if you're celebrating each success, celebrate your lessons also. The reason I say that is because I wouldn't call it losses, because everything in an entrepreneurship journey is about learning. So I would say definitely celebrate your lessons also, and that's the key thing for every entrepreneur to take forward.
You know, Sagi, as women, we wear so many different hats, right? We play so many different roles in our life. We are daughters, we are wives, we are girlfriends, we are mothers, and I'm sure you play a bunch of different roles in your life as well. And along with that, when we are trying to build a business, that's an additional thing that we are, you know, trying to get off the floor, right? Firstly, at what stage do you see women entrepreneurs in UAE, right? And I'm sure with MESA, which is Middle East Startup Awards, you must be seeing women at all stages. Do you find many of them who are at idea stage, many of them who've done something, or many of them who are ready to scale up? If you could throw some stats and numbers at us, or what does that dynamic look like? I think that would be helpful.
Sure. The women that I come across in the Middle East are a lot of the women who are super intelligent, have actually worked in different arenas, and now are venturing into the startup ecosystem. The added advantage about being in the Middle East or the UAE specifically is I think sure most of the women are aware that to live in UAE you do need a visa. So either they come husband sponsored or they've come independently on their own jobs. So if they've
Hmm.
come independently on their own jobs, a lot of them, come with a lot of experience and a lot of thought behind going into their startup journey. But a lot of them who also come on their husband sponsored visas are the women who are actually out there, want to use up their time in a better value, and a lot of them move towards their passion projects. And when I say passion projects, it can range from anything of what they are inclined to. And I see a lot of women over here who actually want to build something where they create their own legacy, where they actually want to do things that where they can create an impact. And it's so beautiful sometimes to hear the stories behind why women are creating what they are creating. Like, I'll give an example that I met a lady and she was doing the matching outfits business. And I'm like, why matching outfits? Because she said, I have a daughter and I love, creating clothes which are for both of us. And I thought, hang on a minute, this is a unique business to actually do. I have someone who does conservation of forests, and that's their passion project. She started it off, and then later on, her husband quit a well paid, highly influential job to join her at the conservation of forests. So what I'm throwing a light over here is a lot of businesses move with their passion. And once you do have a passion with your business, it definitely takes you to a different level. And that's what I would tell a lot of women over here are doing that. Yes, women do come in the ideation stage also, but I feel that the ideation stage is very important. I tell everybody to have a market research done, because your market will tell you, your go to market is very important of what you want to give which market. Maybe a product that is suitable in India might not be suitable in the Middle East. And also, keeping cultures in mind, you have to be very careful on what you're launching and how you're launching, and which part of your business you want to grow it locally or internationally. Like for me, I believe that the Middle East has a lot to offer. So if you see the Middle East Startup Awards is a Middle East initiative. I started off with the GCC countries, and then we moved on to we have Lebanon and Jordan now. I'm the director Middle East for the Indian Investors Federation, and that also I've taken it as a Middle East because I feel that the whole uh, Middle East startup ecosystem is really very strong, and the investors coming in onto this region are also going to be very strong. Now, Wexpo as a brand, which is a women's expo, I'm working on women working on SDG initiatives, and that's a platform and an event talking about women on SDG goals. And that I'm taking it global because I feel that the women over there are the ones who need a lot of support internationally. So that business of mine is international. So you have to be. So these are my three products, and obviously I have a company running as Commerce Connect, which we are into different parts. So every part of the business is very well thought of what I want to do, how I want to do, and how do I want to take it forward. So I'll tell everybody spend time before the business to actually know what you want to do and then take off. Yeah.
Sagi, tell us about, you mentioned these four different properties that you're building, right? I know that Middle East Startup Awards is less than 2 months away, and there's such a lot of fluttering, those the chatter in the air with this mega event coming up. Tell us about how did you think of this? When did you start it? What can people expect from it? I mean, tell us everything that we should know about Middle East Startup Awards.
Definitely. I think Middle East Startup Awards was purely coming from a space that I wanted. My company's tagline is we connect minds and celebrate achievements. And what we actually do is in the connecting vision side of it, what we do actually is look at projects that we can support to grow them into a different level and either their product or their market. So, because being a go to market strategist, I felt a lot of women and a lot of people around here in the startup ecosystem also needed support on, you know, celebrating and recognizing what they are doing. And I felt Middle East Startup Awards would be an amazing platform. I got to meet the Global Startup Awards. That's Peter and Kim, who actually supported the initiative of being very patient with me because I approached them before COVID. And then we actually launched in 2021 as a premier launch event amidst COVID. And I must say, as I mentioned to you, reach out for help. So I did seek out for help for them, like, okay, we're launching in the middle of COVID. But I think we were very lucky that the Ministry of Economy, the Abu Dhabi Global Market, ADGM, gave us a platform to launch it. And we have the Emirates Angel Investors, who are the three strong pillars of our business. And the Middle East Startup Awards was more for recognition of the startup ecosystem in this part of the world. So when I say startup, I don't only mean the newcomers, but we also mean people who are accelerating and scaling up their businesses. So I felt personally that okay, there is a very wide gap between the ones who are already known in the market vis-a-vis all the startups and the newcomers coming in. And I felt with this, bringing this whole ecosystem together of accelerators, incubators, investors, the startups themselves, if we bring all of them together in the region, number one is go to market global growth happens. Number two is that we're able to support each other with our cohort. And that's very important for any business to grow. And coming back to the Middle East Startup Awards, I'd love if later on we can just show everyone what we did in our first initiative and how we did it. It'll be amazing. And the second one now is happening in Russell Khaimer. We're doing it with the American University of Russell Khaimer. The reason why I wanted to do it with a university is, as we discussed earlier on AI. Yes, technology is there, but I want to also showcase the talent. And these two go hand in hand in any startup ecosystem. So that's why it'll be empowering a sustainable world. And we are getting the talent and technology, which will be highlighted as this time's one. The last year we spoke more on green technology. So this year we're moving towards talent and technology. So that's a little bit
Lovely.
about the startup awards. Yeah.
So, Sagi, for everyone who's watching, right, what is the eligibility criteria? What do they need to know about? What do they need to have ready before applying? If you could just walk us through the eligibility criteria and the application process, I think, I'd love for whoever, I mean, this is such a brilliant platform, right? I think it's it's where we're talking about collaboration, we're talking about putting ourselves out there. What else could be a better platform? So walk us through the eligibility criteria and the process to apply.
Sure. The first and foremost thing is that I believe that the Middle East startups, none of the startups should pay for applying for any such kind of an award. So it's totally free for anyone who's applying. But you have to actually be a company registered in the Middle East. It cannot be a branch office, but it has to be a company which is mushroomed out of the Middle East. When I say Middle East, I mean the GCC countries, Lebanon and Jordan. So that's the first criteria of having it. I'm sure a lot of them are watching from India. I would also recommend you to go to our the Global Startup Awards page, and you can actually apply from SARC region also. So feel free to do that, and you can actually apply because the Middle East Startup Awards is a part of the Global Startup Awards, which is present in 120 countries. So I definitely recommend every lady and every person, whoever's into the innovation and tech industry, go out there and apply. First and foremost, it's not only for winning it, it's for you to, number one, is know yourself, how market ready are you, because the form that we have to fill up is quite intense. It'll take you an hour and a half, because we cover up all the different parts of the business, and you have to give us all the information. Once the information is shared with us, we have a very strong jury members, which is our global members. They start right from Americas up to Australia. We have India, we have Sri Lanka, we have Middle East, we have Europe. All the jury members come together and they go through your applications. And the first part of the when we do the selection of the finalists, that is done through AI, and the next part is done through the jury. Then we have a People's Choice Award, and then we give away the awards. So in the whole system, none of the places can will our startup be paying us in any shape or form. So that's something that I wanted to make it very clear, that we're here to celebrate the startups, support their growth, and I don't think I will ever be charging from them. But yes, if someone wants to join us to support us as support partners, of course, our incubators are one of our support partners. We welcome them. If they you do have a cohort and you do have a group together, we welcome you on board. And definitely, if there are sponsors who would like to sponsor it, they're more than welcome. And as I mentioned to you, we had this year we are also doing exhibition booths, and exhibition booths come at a very nominal price. Which for Incubate we're sharing a special price, which you can share it later on with your team, and that's the application. Now going back to the nominations, you can go on our website called www.middleeaststartupawards.com. There is nominate yourself. You can go and nominate yourself if you are from the Middle East. If you're from the SAARC region, rather India, go and nominate yourself from the SAARC region and be a part of our tribe and our community.
Super. Sagi, is there a deadline?
Yes, I think the SAARC deadline, I'm not sure. I'll have to revert back to you on that. But the Middle East Startup Awards, we have just reopened it now till November 25th.
Super. So, everyone who's watching, another 10 hot days pending for you to register your application. Now is the time when you go and check out the Middle East Startup Awards page. Find me, find Incubate, find Sagi, find the MESA page. Go and apply, right? What's the worst that'll happen? That you won't clear it. But at least, as she said, going through that process of application will help you understand what are the questions that you need to be ready to answer, how market ready are you. And I think just going through this entire process, you never know, if you land up over there and you clear the application process, visibility, platform, right ecosystem in one place, I'm sure there are so many things to benefit from. So thank you, Sagi, thank you so much for telling us about Mesa. I want to look at two last questions before I let you go. The first would be, with all these startups in the region, by the way, let's look at some questions that have come in. I have been building my startup. We only have 10 customers as of now. Am I eligible to apply?
Even if you have just two customers, you are more than welcome. What is more important is what are you building for and whom are you building it for? So if your company is less than 2 years old, you apply for Newcomer of the Year. And if you are between 2 years and 5 years, you can apply as Startup of the Year. But I would definitely invite the lady in question to apply for Founder of the Year, because you are doing something amazing. And I definitely want you to apply for Founder of the Year and go through. So we have 12 different categories. Once anybody goes on our website, they'll be able to see our 12 different categories. We have a special category only for women, which is called Diversity Role Model, where we are encouraging women who are actually supporting the ecosystem to come forth and apply for it. We also have Ecosystem Hero of the Year, where we are inviting accelerator incubators, women who are mentors, leaders in startup to definitely come there and apply. So it's only not only for the startup ecosystem, it's not only for the startups, but it's also for the other categories which build the whole community of the startup. We also have a VC, we have family office, And so all these actually contribute into the startup. So definitely, I would definitely wanted to apply for newcomer of the year as well as founder of the year.
Sagi, one more question is, I have a services business, not a tech product. Am I eligible to apply?
So if the services business is something where you're disrupting the market and is innovative, surely apply for it, because our the startup ecosystem is for tech and innovation, and we definitely would love you to be a part of it if it is any one of these criterias.
Superb. I think we've looked at this quite holistically. Thank you, Sagi. Thank you so much. We at Incubate are super excited to be support partners with the MESA Awards coming up next year in 2024. And we look forward to supporting you with everything that you're doing. Thank you once again for sharing your insights with us, for sharing your journey with us. And I look forward to partnering with you further.
Thank you. And I look forward to having everybody who is a part of the Incubate community to be there on January 17th and 18th for our conference at the Russell Khmer at the American University of Russell Khmer. And I look forward to inviting each one of you there. We will be sending out the forms and you can register yourself. And once you're registered for the event, you're more than welcome. And anybody wants exhibition booths, any other collaborations, reach out to Avneet and she'll be your go-to person for that. Yeah. Take care,
Thank
lady.
you. Thank you, Sagi. Thank you so much for being with us today. Disha, on my team, let's have a look at what Mesa is looking like.